Hey fellow Outriders, it's Angry Turtle and that's another build. This time we are going for Technomancer and that's a weapon focus build around criticals and everything that can really make it cheese through content is shoved into here. It's almost a budget build, there is no legendaries required, although I'm using a couple of tier 3 mods, then it's not 100% budget. Although I will tell you that on the budget you can still complete CT15 with gold. Now, skills we are using, that's a standard setup for a Technomancer, that is a weapon damage build. And we have blighted rounds, that's of course the core of every build with weapons. Then we have cold snap, that's like get out of jail card in here. And blighted turret, the only reason for that is to keep activating our damage boost and just distraction for enemies. Now, about the skill tree, I decided to go for that, and I think that's the most powerful. I saw some people going more on top in here, but in my opinion, it's much better to just spend 2 more points on the bottom to get this extra resistance piercing, this 15% resistance piercing that's really useful for the bosses during the expeditions. Apart from that, we are going, of course, weapon damage, some life leech. We're not going for cooldowns, armor piercing. As we cannot avoid taking that, I choose some nice mods for armor that will use this armor piercing, even though the blighted bullets will not. Then we have critical damage boost, that's very good. Then vulnerable applied with toxic and more effective vulnerable. Then we go for reduced range for the long range. What's considered to be long range, then we go for more weapon damage. Here we're taking both because we want more damage versus enemies with toxic and this long range to be shorter to actually have some benefits of it, because you know in this game it's hard to keep enemies far away to be considered a long range. Then this will help a lot. Then we have more weapon damage, and that's important because you know that assault weapons are broken. With tactical mod, then we are taking assault weapons damage bonus, more assault weapon damage, armor piercing, more long range damage. That's a nice hefty boost. It will be nice if we'll be able to use it more often, but it's sometimes come into play. Then we have maga size and toxic effectiveness, 15% more damage. And the last one, this one is boosting our weapon damage whenever we just spam the turret. And this turret surprisingly have very short cooldown, then it's perfect here. Now about the gear. And I do have those legendaries, I'm not using them, they just for show in here. This is almost good. I make a mistake and I kept this Wrath of Moloch and trying to use it. Unfortunately, whatever is on hit and cause explosion is not good because it will rob you from your ammo refill, then we don't want it. Then what I went after, it's just a assault rifle tactical, not even a perfect roll, but I go for more criticals and killing spree, that tier 3 mod that is the most OP for the weapon. Then if you have it, use it. If you don't have it, there are other options. Whatever best one you have, put on the second slot. On the first slot, actually bonus shrapnel, it will be a nice option, but I noticed from my experience clearing mobs is not a problem because Technomancer have built-in splash damage, then that's okay. Then under the gear we are aiming for firepower, close range and long range damage about the perks. Unfortunately, yeah, it's not all my gear is like that, but next. Bloodlust, very powerful and only tier 2. It increases firepower up to 3 times stacking when you kill, and one thing that is plentiful in expeditions, those are enemies and you will be killing them constantly, then that's always good. Then toxic lead to give us all the ammo we need. After that we have Captain Hunter. If you can get that, that's super important. If you can eradicate those captain enemies, those bosses quickly, that's great. Then we have Achilles heel, that's not perfect, but still something. Increases critical damage by 50% of resistance piercing. That's inferior mod, there is a better one that I have used, but unfortunately I cannot replace it because I don't have a better torso. Here another 2 mods, mitigation from death and emergency stance. Those 2 together makes you about unkillable. As you know, Golem is broken at this moment, and after it trigger like once or twice it stays permanently. Then you can even swap this mod later if it's not permanently locked on your gear and it's swappable. You can keep swapping it off and on. But yeah, it's super OP at this moment because it's broken. Then we go for the gloves and we have radical therapy, more damage versus enemies affected by toxic, and all of them are. Then we have personal space, more close range damage. That's kind of useful. It's not they're better. Like, you can have a lot of better mods than I have in here, but it's already super powerful. Now, here are important ones. No resistance against the fortified, resistance piercing increased that 50% of our armor piercing, and our armor piercing is 50, then we are getting 25% resistance piercing. That's quite a lot for the bosses. Then we want that. And then we have crit stack. This is great with our critical focus build because we have 20% chance to score criticals and it's giving a lot of firepower. As long as you can get those criticals, then you go for headshots if possible. If not possible, then just shoot whenever. And thanks to the weapon mod, you still have 20% chance to score the criticals. And important, yes, weapon need to be armor pierce, not lifesteal or anything like that, because we already have enough lifesteal here. Then now let's go for a quick demonstration. I will do Boomtown. I'm not always successful there to get gold because, you know, I'm a turtle and I'm sometimes slow, but nothing to do with the build though. It is pretty much gold build for a Boomtown. Let's see if I can do it this time. And you can see the damage in here out the Boomtown, even when there are hordes of enemies. Yeah, damage is in here. You will be able to keep annihilating all those enemies in like no time. The only worry is to don't get accidentally killed when you are out swarmed by all those riflemen, snipers and mini bosses around. We toss the turret to give us the damage. When you notice that your damage is lower than expectation, that's when your 10-second damage boost from the turret being tossed expired. You need to toss another one. Cooldown is very short on the turret. That the fact that turret is available doesn't mean already your damage boost expired, as cooldown is like 3 seconds shorter than the damage boost itself. Then I just toss it whenever I have a second, like I'm relocating, I'm running, because if you don't know, you can run while tossing those turrets. You just cannot shoot in the same time. Then if you need to run, relocate, then that's the time to toss it. Don't look where you toss it. It absolutely doesn't matter. The last thing that matters is where you toss this turret. Just toss it whenever. The important part is to keep shooting those enemies. And you can see how quick they are dying. And I will carry on, and I will see if I will get gold or not, and then I will report to you. I think that's enough as a sample. You can see that, yeah, damage is there. Like everything, including those little bosses, is dying. Yeah, I would definitely need to practice the time, but as you can see, I succeeded with Boomtown, and it's kind of a good time considering how they cut down the available time in here and how fast you need to be able to pick up all those riflemen. With a little bit of practice, I think I can get gold on this one as well, and I have gold on other ones, like even the Chem one. You can see it here. That would I finish earlier with the same build, then if much better time. And let's check the loot. And what's the loot? No legendaries. No luck this time. That's the damage summary. Of course, it's a weapon build that for like all damage from blighted rounds. That's basically the damage dealer. Nothing really else. And that's the build, everyone. That's the Technomancer with weapon focus and critical damage. Let me know what you think. I think it's still very powerful build regardless of all the nerfs. We'll see after they fix Golem, but I think I can quite easily swap it for other defensive perks, like even the set for a Technomancer. One of the sets offers a damage mitigation every time you apply Toxic. Then, yeah, there is a way. I will see after they fix it what will be needed to keep it super powerful and keep grinding the gold. For now, that's everything. Therefore, thank you a lot for watching, and see you guys in the next one.